Holy crap.
It's laser time and we're gonna do a review. Yes, we're gonna review. We'll talk about movies and comics too. Let's all go watch the review.
Hey everybody, how's it going? I am Lazy Dude and welcome to my review of Avengers Infinity War. Yeah, let's get in on this. Avengers Infinity War has been what all the Marvel movies have been building to. Over the past 6 years, Marvel has been building all up to this moment. As soon as we saw Thanos, we knew that this is the moment they were building to. So does it meet the hype? Yes, I'm not even going to pause for a dramatic effect. Holy crap, yes. Honestly, this movie caught me by surprise how good it was because, as I said in my predictions video, a lot of the Marvel movies, while good, a lot of them had a little MacGuffin plot where everyone needed to get their hands on this, which usually turned out to be an Infinity Stone. They needed to get this or that, either the purple one or the red one, blah, 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 blah. It all resulted in Infinity Stone. So one of my worries going into this, I didn't really mention this in Biggest Fear. I thought it was like my biggest fear is that there's too much going on. But one of my worries going into this would be that it would feel a little repetitive. Thanos goes, Thanos gets stone, we gotta stop him from getting this stone, Thanos gets stone, gotta stop him from getting this stone, Thanos gets stone. You know, that's kind of what I thought the plot was might possibly end up like. But my goodness, this movie is like an amazing juggling act. They juggle all these different characters, put them in different places, and while they're never really in the same place at one time, they're really just do a really good job at keeping all of the characters' motivations and explanations to the forefront. But I just want to talk about Thanos, guys, because Marvel has always had a little bit of trouble with their villains. They've always tripped up a little bit on the villains, you know. Iron Man, great. Whiplash, not so much. Captain America, great. You know, Zemo, not so much. And they really do a good job of Thanos, just because one of my problems with Thanos, like from what we saw him before this, is we didn't really get a lot of depth. You know, he was just sitting in the chair and looking mean. And honestly, I did not think that we were going to get as much depth out of this character as we did, and we really did. We know his motivations, we see his point of view, but we also know why he needs to be stopped. Josh Brolin really does a good job as Thanos. A lot of people have been saying like it's more like his movie, but I don't really think that's true, because, you know, the focus is still on our heroes, but they just really need to put the time and effort for us to feel like this is a worthy villain for all of the Avengers to take on. Let me just say, though, that the action in this movie is great. There's so many big moments that I was like, holy crap, or oh, that was cool, or oh, that was smart. And it was just a lot of fun all the way through. And I like how this movie really got you to feel like the entire universe was in jeopardy, but you could still have fun with it. There was funny moments, but they didn't really feel out of place, you know? It wasn't like a character was, you know, like during a really serious moment, a character was joking around. It had the right amount of tone. You know, that's kind of the thing that I felt like Thor Ragnarok slipped on a little bit, that there were too silly in scenes that maybe could have been a little bit more serious, but this, I don't really feel like that. When there's humorous moments, they don't come at the expense of the serious moments. But I think the real king of this movie is the pace, the way the movie is paced, because it's just like, because we have to deal with Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, the Guardians of the Galaxy, Hulk. We have to deal with Scarlet Witch, Vision, Black Panther, and then the side characters of Bucky, War Machine, Falcon, and all these stuff going around, and they really do a really good job with it. I might be praising this movie too much, but there wasn't a dull moment for me. And this movie is long. I think it's almost like 3 hours long, and there wasn't a time where I'm just like, oh, I'm bored, don't really want to be watching any of this. I'm just like, I don't want this to end. This movie it's just so good. And I like how there are definitely themes going on in this movie. It's not just Thanos, go here, get stone, Thanos go here, stop to get stone, blah, 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 blah. It's not just that. There's a big theme in this movie with sacrifice. I'll get more into the details in my spoiler part of the review. It's like, what are you willing to sacrifice to save the world? Or, yeah, because or the universe. Because in Thanos' mind, what he is doing is saving the universe. They change his motivations. You know, I'll get to that in spoiler parts too. I just want to go through the stuff that I need to talk about in the non-spoiler part, and then I'll get to the spoiler part, because I really want to get to that. So, is there anything else I really need to talk about? Well, let me just recommend this movie fully to you. You definitely should have seen the majority of the previous movies in order to get this movie. But I will still say, nevertheless, it's still an immensely fun movie. The action is great. The humor is great. It is Marvel movie perfection at its best. And I'm not saying it's a perfect movie. I'm just saying for the Marvel movie style, it knows what it is, it works in it, and it perfectly delivers it. And so, with that being said, I'm going to give this movie a... yeah, a 9 out of 10. Honestly, this movie, I don't know, I might be just overhyped on it afterwards. Maybe after seeing it again, I might put the rating down to a 8 out of 10. But honestly, there wasn't a dull moment in this film. There wasn't really that. There was maybe like one moment where I thought maybe the character is acting out of place, but I thought the way that what the character was doing was kind of understandable. I honestly think that this movie is really a key to the Marvel Universe, and it's just, if you have so much build-off and so little payoff, it would be so disappointing, but it has so much build-up and so much payoff that it really, really leaves me looking forward to the next one. Alright, now it's time to get into the spoiler part of this review. Let's just get into it. I'll just give you a second to get out of here. If you have not seen this movie, go watch it, go watch it, go watch it, go watch it. Okay, so around the halfway point, I kind of knew what they were doing. You see, I had been spoiled. Basically, an oversimplification of what I do for work right now is I watch TV. Yeah, it's an oversimplification. I cut off shows, I put them on, and basically that's what I do. I work at a TV station. But in any case, one of the things that I was spoiled on, there was this guy on one of the morning shows that was doing a review, and he's like, so I don't want to spoil anything, but this movie ends in a cliffhanger. And I'm like, dude, what the flippin' heck? And so, a cliffhanger. That doesn't spoil anything. That's like, oh, I'm not going to tell you what the twist is in this movie, but there's a twist. You're ruining it. So because of that, around the point, I kind of suspected when they just killed off Loki in the beginning, but around the point when Gamora died, I'm like, okay, so none of this is going to stick. None of it. They're going to have some sort of time travel thing that's going to reverse all of this. You know, that's just going to be what happens. But in any case, like, I knew what was going to happen, but I really didn't want it to. Because there's plenty of moments where even though I'm thinking, yeah, I know who's going to live and who's going to die, and even if they die, they're not going to stay dead. But even though at that ending scene where everyone's just fading away, I was like, holy crap, no. And with that, it's time to bring you the top 10 most surprising deaths of Infinity War. Number 10, Bucky. I mean, they kind of just, they build him up as like, oh, he's rehabilitated now, but now it's just, woof, in the wind. And wow, I thought, Bucky was going to take Cap's place, but I guess not. Number 9, Doctor Strange. I mean, this franchise just started, and he was a really big component, being one of the holders in the Infinity Stone, so the fact that he faded away was a really big surprise to me. Number 8, Groot. I mean, honestly, at this point, he was actually one of the ones that I didn't feel too bad that died, because he was teenage Groot, and he was just acting all moody, and I didn't really like that, so either give me cute, young Groot, or full-grown, cool Groot. Teenage Groot can just burn. Number 7, the Scarlet Witch. She had like this really hard emotional arc, and I was like, okay, well, she's definitely going to have to deal with that in the next one. But no, she goes poof too, and I'm like, well, dang! Number 6, Loki. Mostly just, not that he died, but that he just died at the very start of the film. It's just like, Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Number 5, Gamora. This one was surprising to me because, you know, unlike everyone else who's just floating away in the wind where you're thinking, oh, okay, they got to bring these people back somehow. Gamora was one where I wasn't at that point, so I'm like, okay, Gamora's dead and very well could possibly be dead forever. Number 4, Star-Lord. Yeah, you know, I don't know if it was just like I expected the leaders of the individual teams and whatnot to stay alive, but when Star-Lord disappeared, I'm like, holy crap, what? Wow, they just killed off some big star quality. Number 3, Captain America. Oh wait, he didn't die. Well, yeah, number 3 is my biggest surprise is the fact that Captain America didn't die. I mean, come on! You had everything set up for it and you didn't kill him? Dang. Okay. Well, Captain America didn't die, and that was a big surprise to me. Number 2, Black Panther. I mean, come on. Like, Black Panther was so successful. Like, it was such an amazing movie, and it was so successful that I'm like, there's no way they're just ending it here. Here's a starting point, and here's the killing point, because it was just like, no, that I thought it was going to be such a big part of the next one, and now he's not even going to be in it. And the number 1 most surprising character that they killed off in Avengers Infinity War is Spider-Man! Like, what the flippin' heck? That was the most sad, because I like how Peter doesn't go out with a joke, he doesn't go out with an angry scream or a heroic moment, he goes out with a whimper, because he's still just a kid, he's a teenager, and he doesn't want to go, and he doesn't want to die, and he just floats away, and Tony is just so distraught by this. I actually like how Tony, like, actually, if you think about it, with the exception of Nick Fury, all the original Avengers, we don't know if they're dead or not. Like, because we know that Cap, Tony, Thor, Black Widow, and Hulk are all alive, or Bruce Banner, Hulk, are all alive. We have no idea what's happening with Hawkeye, and Nick Fury is the only one out of the original group that floated in the wind. So that's going to be interesting. It's going to be like an Avengers reunion plus Rocket and Nebula and Black Panther's bodyguard and maybe Wong from, you know, Doctor Strange. We didn't see if he lived or died. I mean, think of all the Stan Lee cameos that just blew in the wind. But yeah, that's going to be an interesting team that's going to have to take on Thanos. How? Well, they got to get the Infinity Gauntlet somehow. And somehow or another, Iron Man is the key. I'm sure some other people have picked up on this as well, but the only reason Doctor Strange would just willingly hand over the Infinity Stone to Thanos is because sacrifice was a big theme throughout this whole movie. You know, we had Thanos sacrifice Gamora. Gamora asked Star-Lord to kill her, and, you know, he had to decide whether or not the sacrifice was worth it and everything. And then we had Scarlet Witch having to kill Vision, the man that she loved, and, you know, like, that was a big thing. The big theme of this movie was sacrifice. And Thanos was like, this is what I have to do. I have to sacrifice half the universe in order to save it. And I will not let anything stand in my way to do that. So sacrifice was a big theme throughout this movie, and Iron Man is the key, because Doctor Strange sacrificed the Time Stone to save Iron Man. That was the only condition. He said, let Tony Stark live and I'll give you the Time Stone. And we saw that Doctor Strange was all like, I will let you and Spider-Man die to protect the Time Stone, okay? I have an oath to this thing. There's no way I'm just letting it up. And he said that he saw one way to defeat Thanos. So whatever way, I think the one constant is that the only thing he could change was that Tony lived. That's the only thing he could change, is that he made Tony one of the people that didn't just float away on the wind with everyone else. For somehow, by making that deal to keep Tony alive, that's kept him from floating away, and it made them able to defeat Thanos in the next one. Iron Man is the key. I don't know how, but he is. This is very different. This is like Flash saying, Iron Man's the key! Like in Batman v Superman, but that's basically it. You know, though, more surprising than any of the deaths, or any of the things going on, flippin' Red Skull being the guardian of the flippin' Soul Stone was the biggest surprise to me. Because I heard that Hugo Weaving wasn't on the best speaking terms with the Marvel producers. And so, like, I had heard that, like, he didn't even really care for his time in Captain America. So I never expected him to come back. And when he came back, that was the biggest, like, holy crap! Say what? But I like that because they obviously built up for something for Red Skull in the first Avenger with him teleporting somewhere. But they weren't able to capitalize on it, but they are now. So the next one, but the ending, and I'm not even talking about the end credit sequence, which was fine, but the ending where it said Thanos will return, I actually yelled at the theater, oh, screw you, movie! Thanos will return. No flipping kidding. That was a little bit of a stab to the heart. And I almost wish there was no after credit sequence, because it would have left us with a complete feeling of utter hopelessness. But the after credit sequence was okay too. So yeah, this is the Empire Strikes Back of Avengers. This is the moment that beats them all down, destroys everything, and leaves everything burst wide open. The next movie should be called Avengers Infinity War Part 2, The Hunt for Thanos, because they are going to be looking for some payback. And yeah, that's all I really have to say. So thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you put what you thought of Avengers Infinity War in the comments below. How you think maybe Iron Man is the key, or maybe Iron Man is not the key. We'll have to wait and see. And we'll see about that. And so, thanks for watching, everybody. I am Lazy Dude saying so long. Be sure to check out some of these other videos on my channel. And wait for more coming soon.